Good morning, students. Last class we discussed about difference between heat engine and heat pump. Because one is energy conversion device, second one is energy transfer device. Today's class we will discuss about equivalence of Kelvin Planck and class system. Because energy conversion, Kelvin Planck statement is energy conversion based statement. Classius is energy transfer statement. So two process are different process, but if we violated both statements are equal. Once we violated one statement means it's also violation of second statement. So in the second law of thermodynamics, if we violated energy conversion statement, then automatically it is a violation of energy transfer statement. That's equivalence. Next we will discuss about reversibility and causes of irreversibility. So first equivalence, I already mentioned. Both statements are equal, but the working principles are different. One is energy conversion, second one is energy transfer. But if you violated Kelvin Planck statement means it's also violation of Clausius statement. Then you can see the statement. We constructed heat engine and heat pump, both operating on same temperature reservoirs, high temperature and low temperature. Heat engine and heat pump or refrigerator, both working on high temperature reservoir is TH, low temperature reservoir is TL. Whatever the work is generated by the heat engine, it is supplied to the heat pump for transfer of heat from the low temperature to high temperature. Okay. Only one condition we assumed, both heat engine and heat pump are working on same temperature reservoirs, and whatever the work is developed by the heat engine, it is supplied to the heat pump for transfer of heat from low temperature to high temperature. This is the assumption. Next you can see, now I constructed heat engine against the Kelvin Planck statement. What Kelvin Planck statement mentioned? Single reservoir heat engine construction practically not feasible. Here see, there is no heat rejection. Efficiency 100% we assume. And heat. So, we violated Kelvin Planck statement and constructed heat engine with a single reservoir. So whatever the heat is generated, heat is absorbed, the total heat will convert as a work. So W net equal to heat supply. Why? Because there is no heat rejection. 100% efficiency. Whatever the heat is extracting from the source, total heat it is a convert as a work. Is the assumption. Then that work we are input to the refrigerator. For which purpose? To transfer the heat, QL of heat from the lower temperature reservoir to higher temperature. For the transfer of heat, W net heat supply is there. W net of the work input we are utilizing. Transfer of QL heat from low temperature reservoir to high temperature. This is common. Heat pump working principle, that only transfer of heat from low temperature to high temperature. How much network we are using? So QL we are transferring, no doubt, plus W net work input we are giving. Already in the heat pump explanation I shown. Whatever the work input we are giving, we are raising the pressure. What is the target of raising pressure? Raising the temperature. So automatically it is also converted as heat only. So W net, whatever we are supplying, that energy also we are losing in the high temperature reservoir. So QL plus W net. Here W net is QH. Why? Because heat engine we are assuming efficiency is 100%. There is no loss. So we are extracting QH of heat and we are rejecting QH plus QL. This is a final simplifying this engine and heat pump combinedly. Finally, we will get the statement like this. Refrigerator, because QH plus QL we are rejecting and QH is extracting. The difference between QH plus QL minus QH means QL only. So finally we are giving only QL of heat, rejecting QL of heat at high temperature reservoir and absorbing QL of heat from the low temperature reservoir without work input. The combination of two things, one violated heat engine plus heat pump, combinedly you can visualize like this. So without work input we are capable to transfer the QL of heat from low temperature reservoir to high temperature reservoir. So it's a violation of class A statement also. Class A statement, what it says, transfer of heat from low temperature reservoir to high temperature reservoir, at least it requires some work input to transfer. Here the pump is not taking any work, so it is transferring total heat from low temperature reservoir to high temperature reservoir. Then it is also violation of class S statement. So if we violated Kelvin Planck statement, it is also violation of class S. Even though these two statements are different statements, one is for energy conversion, one is for energy transfer. In that condition also, in thermodynamics second law, of two statements, if you violated neither any statement, it's a violation of other statement also. Okay, it's a both are equivalent. Next, move to the reversibility. We know, we discussed in first unit itself. When we will get the reversibility means in infinite equilibrium steps we are reaching, we are moving from state 1 to state 2 movement, we are taking infinite equilibrium, thermodynamic equilibrium state steps, then only we can get the reversibility. But in the universe all are finite steps and there is no equilibrium condition, so automatically all processes are irreversible process only in the nature. Okay, that's a true, no doubt. But causes of irreversibility is important. At least we know the causes of irreversibility, then at least we can reduce the that causes, or we can eliminate, or if any process involving that causes means we can remove, at least we can reduce. What are the causes of irreversibility? First one, friction. Second one, finite temperature difference. Third one, free expansion. Fourth one is mixing. You can see friction. Best example, cylinder piston arrangement. Generally, while we are drawing, piston is tightly fit into the cylinder. Then the contact is surface contact. Entire surface will contact, coming to the contact automatically. More friction loss is coming to the picture. For that, what they did, they introduced the piston rings. So only piston rings only tightly connected with the cylinder wall. But piston is free from the cylinder, so we are reducing more amount of the friction loss. So friction loss, while suppose you take this example, while we are pulling the load and increasing the potential energy, what happened due to the friction? Some of the energy lost by the heat. Okay, once you kept raise the potential energy, then the body is moving from the higher body to lower. Again friction is coming to the picture, so some heat reject to the surrounding. That heat we cannot regain as a work, not at all possible. Once we rejected heat to the surroundings means it's surrounding last, it's a irreversible. So friction is the major cause of the irreversibility. Next, free expansion. I created a vacuum in one cylinder and I placed one membrane. One side is gas, one side is vacuum. Due to the high vacuum, damage of the membrane is takes place means the entire gas will expand entire the cylinder. For expansion, it is a free expansion. There is no energy consumption. But once we want to again create vacuum, means again you want to spend some energy. So it is also one of the causes of the heat transfer. Heat transfer by finite temperature difference, heat transfer will take place. Okay, it is transferred. Then after again regain of that heat, whatever the heat we rejected surroundings, we want to extract that heat from the surroundings and give to the system means directly it is not possible. We want to use some heat pump. It's also cause of irreversibility. Next, mixing. Mixing is the major cause of irreversibility. Mixing of two different gases, especially in air. Air contains nitrogen and oxygen. We place separately, there is no issue. Once we mix the two, naturally it will mix. But separation of nitrogen and oxygen from the air is too difficult. If it is possible, we can reduce the engine size drastically. Because in IC engine, air supply we are supplying that 70 percentage only nitrogen we are supplying inside the combustion chamber. That nitrogen is not involving the combustion phenomena, only oxygen is only involving the combustion phenomena. Wastage of energy. Due to that, large volumes of the engines we are using for less work output. But separation is energy consuming process. We are unable to separate. So these are the major causes. I think next unit in entropy, we can derive the equations also. How much percentage loss is there? What is the effect? That all things we will discuss. And generally reversibility, we are discussing two types. One is internal reversible, second one is external reversible. Internal reversible means within the system we are achieving the reversibility, then it is the called internal reversible. Like quasi-static process or a reversible adiabatic process, reversible isothermal process, like that. If any process we are involving internally reversible process, these all are. Coming to the external reversible process means heat interaction with the reservoir. What we are assuming? Heat interaction with the reservoir at constant temperature. There is a we are assuming reversible because while we are extracting heat continuously means automatically temperature will change. But we are assuming at constant temperature we are extracting heat from the reservoir, high temperature reservoir to the source. So that one called external reversible means one is inside the system we are achieving the reversibility, that is called internal reversible. With the surroundings also we are achieving the reversibility, then is called external reversible. Total reversible or simple reversible, wherever we are using that word means it is a combination of internal and external reversible only. Okay. I think with this I am ending today's session. Tomorrow we will discuss about Carnot cycle. Thank you. Thank you very much.